Home Sweet Horror. 5 shocking murder crime stories unveiled in people's own houses by strangers. In the darkest corners of our homes, where safety and comfort are supposed to reign supreme, unimaginable horrors can unfold. Today, we delve into a chilling realm where strangers invade the sanctity of personal space, leaving behind a trail of fear and tragedy. Before we embark on this bone-chilling journey, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode of True Crime Unraveling. Get ready to step into a world where evil lurks just beyond your front door. This is 5 terrifying true crime stories by strangers that shattered lives. The Hinterkaifeck Murders. The Hinterkaifeck Murders took place on the evening of March 31, 1922, near Munich, Germany, remain one of the most gruesome and perplexing unsolved crimes in German history. This chilling tale revolves around the Gruber family, who lived on a small Bavarian farmstead known as Hinterkaifeck. The farm was home to Andreas Gruber, his wife Casilia, their widowed daughter Victoria Gabriel, Victoria's children Casilia and Joseph, and the maid Maria Baumgartner. Prior to the tragic events, the family and their former maid had experienced strange occurrences. The maid had quit her job due to hearing mysterious noises coming from the attic. Andreas Gruber had discovered a mysterious newspaper on the property, as well as tracks in the snow leading to a broken door lock. The night before the murders, Victoria had reportedly fled the farm after a violent quarrel and was later found in the forest. The events unfolded between March 31 and April 1, 1922. On April 4, 1922, concerned neighbours noticed that the family's mail had been piling up and decided to investigate. What they discovered was a scene of unimaginable horror. The bodies of 6 individuals lay brutally murdered on the farm. Andreas Gruber, his wife Casilia, their daughter Victoria, Victoria's children Casilia and Joseph, and the maid Maria had all fallen victim to an unknown assailant. The murders were carried out with a mattock, a type of grub axe. The autopsies conducted on the victims revealed signs of strangulation, head trauma, and multiple wounds. Shockingly, young Casilia had likely remained alive for hours after the initial attack. The perpetrators had lived with the corpses for 3 days before the bodies were discovered. The police initially suspected vagrants, but this theory was dismissed due to the presence of money inside the house. Despite extensive investigations, there is no definitive answer regarding the identity of the perpetrators. However, over the years, several theories and suspects have emerged in connection with the case. One theory suggests that the murders could have been carried out by someone known to the Gruber family, such as a relative or an acquaintance. The possibility of personal conflicts or disputes within the family has been considered. Additionally, suspicions of incestuous relationships within the family have also been raised, with some speculating that Joseph may have been the result of such a relationship. Another theory revolves around a former farmhand who may have harboured ill feelings towards the Gruber family. It is speculated that this individual could have returned to the farm seeking revenge. Some have proposed that the Hinterkaifeck murders could be the work of a serial killer operating in the area during that time. This theory suggests that the Gruber family was targeted randomly and that the killer may have moved on to commit other crimes afterwards. It is important to note that these theories and suspects are speculative, as no concrete evidence has emerged to definitively solve the case. The lack of forensic technology and proper investigative procedures at the time has hindered progress in uncovering the truth behind the Hinterkaifeck murders. The Clutter Family Murders. This case occurred on November 15, 1959, in Holcomb, Kansas. This was a brutal and tragic event that shocked the community and the nation. The victims of this heinous crime were Herb and Bonnie Clutter, as well as their teenage children, Nancy and Kenyon. The motive behind the murders was robbery. Perry Smith and Richard Hickok, 2 ex-convicts, broke into the Clutter family's home with the intention of finding a safe filled with money. However, they soon realized that there was no safe in the house. Despite the absence of money, they proceeded to subject each family member to brutal interrogations before individually killing them in separate locations within the house. The victims were bound and shot, and their deaths were marked by the killer's anger and cruelty. The Clutter Family Murders gained significant attention when Truman Capote wrote about the case in his non-fiction book, In Cold Blood. Capote extensively researched the murders, interviewed the individuals involved, and painted a vivid and chilling portrait of the crime and its aftermath. The book depicted the Clutter family, as well-respected members of their community and shed light on the impact of their tragic deaths on the small town of Holcomb. The killers, Perry Smith and Richard Hickok, were eventually captured, convicted, and sentenced to death. Their troubled pasts, criminal histories, and motives were explored during the trial. Both men were executed for their involvement in the Clutter Family Murders. The crime and its subsequent trial continued to captivate the public's attention due to the senseless nature of the killings and the impact it had on the community. The Clutter Family Murders serve as a grim reminder of the tragic consequences of violence and the devastating impact it has on the lives of innocent individuals and their communities. The case has left a lasting mark on the true crime genre and remains an important part of American criminal history. The Wichita Massacre. The Wichita Massacre was a series of brutal crimes that took place in Wichita, Kansas, between December 8 and 15, 2000. The perpetrators were brothers Reginald and Jonathan Carr, who embarked on a week-long crime spree that resulted in the deaths of 5 people and severe injuries to 2 others. The Carr brothers, both with extensive criminal records, had recently arrived in Wichita. Their crime spree began with the robbery and wounding of Andrew Schreiber, an assistant baseball coach. They then shot Ann Walenta, a cellist and librarian, as she tried to escape from them in her car. She later died from her wounds. The most horrific part of their spree occurred on December 14, when they broke into a house at random where 5 young professionals were staying. The victims were subjected to sexual assault, beatings and robberies. After forcing the victims to withdraw money from ATMs, they drove them to a soccer complex where they shot all 5 execution style in the back of their heads. One of the victims, identified as Holly G., survived the shooting due to her plastic barrette deflecting the bullet. She managed to seek help and provide crucial information that led to the brothers' arrest. The Carr brothers were convicted on multiple counts, including capital murder, and were sentenced to death. Their case has received significant attention due to various rulings related to the use of the death penalty in Kansas. The Kansas Supreme Court initially overturned their death sentences, but this decision was later overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court.
The U.S. Supreme Court overturned that decision 2 years later, sending it back to the state Supreme Court.
As of now, the Carr brothers are on death row at El Dorado Correctional Facility. The Wichita Massacre is a tragic event that left a lasting impact on the community. It led to an increase in the sales of guns, locks, and home security systems due to the panic it created in the Wichita area. Despite the horrific nature of the crimes, the bravery of the lone survivor, Holly G., stands out. Her courage in seeking help and providing crucial information led to the arrest and conviction of the Carr brothers. The Petit family home invasion. The Petit family home invasion, also known as the Cheshire Home Invasion Murders, is a tragic event that occurred on July 23, 2007, in Cheshire, Connecticut. The Petit family, consisting of Dr. William Petit, his wife Jennifer Hawk Petit, and their 2 daughters, Haley and Michaela, were the victims of this horrific crime. The family was living a peaceful life. Jennifer, 48 years old, worked as a nurse and director of a health center, while Dr. Petit was a medical director. Their elder daughter, Haley, 17 years old, was a recent high school graduate with plans to study medicine at Dartmouth College. She was involved in various sports and philanthropic activities. The younger daughter, Michaela, 11 years old, was preparing to attend Chase Collegiate School and had a passion for cooking. On the evening of July 22, 2007, Jennifer and her daughter, Michaela, went grocery shopping at a local stop-shop store. Unbeknownst to them, Joshua Komisarjewski noticed and followed them home, while Stephen Hayes communicated with Komisarjewski via text messages, expressing their intent to commit the crimes. July 23, Komisarjewski and Hayes attacked Dr. William Petit, the husband and father, as he slept in the sunroom. Petit was beaten with a baseball bat and then bound and tied up in the basement. They proceeded to awaken Jennifer, Haley, and Michaela and place pillowcases over their heads. The intruders spent hours robbing the house, but their search for valuables proved unsatisfactory. Realizing that the family had a substantial amount of money in their bank account, Hayes took Jennifer to a nearby bank to withdraw $15,000. Jennifer informed the bank teller about the situation, but despite the call to 911, the police failed to intercept Hayes' return to the Petit home.
We have a lady who is in our bank right now who says that her husband and children are being held at their house.
Meanwhile, Commissar Jeffsky sexually assaulted Michaela and recorded the crime on his phone. Upon returning home, Hayes raped Jennifer and shortly afterward, he strangled her to death. Hayes then poured gasoline throughout the house, including on Jennifer's body, while Commissar Jeffsky raped and assaulted Michaela. Both Haley and Michaela were tied to their beds and doused with gasoline. The intruders set the house on fire, leaving the girls to die from smoke inhalation. Dr. William Petit, who had managed to free himself, escaped to a neighbor's house for help. The case received significant attention in Connecticut and gained national and international coverage. Hayes and Commissar Jeffsky were eventually convicted of the crimes. Hayes was found guilty on multiple charges, including murder, sexual assault, and kidnapping. Commissar Jeffsky was also found guilty on all counts. Both initially received the death penalty, but in 2015, the Connecticut Supreme Court ruled the death penalty unconstitutional and commuted their sentences to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. The Petit family home invasion had a profound impact on Connecticut's death penalty and sparked a debate about its abolition. The tragedy and subsequent legal proceedings brought attention to the issue and played a role in delaying the abolition of the death penalty in the state. The level of brutality and cruelty exhibited by the perpetrators is truly chilling. The fact that they meticulously planned the invasion and subjected the family to hours of terror and torment is beyond comprehension. The sexual assault, rape, and murder of Jennifer and the assault on young Michaela are acts of unspeakable evil. The story also highlights some failures in the response system. Despite Jennifer's attempt to alert the bank teller about the situation, the police failed to intercept the criminals and prevent further harm to the family. Such lapses are deeply tragic, as they could have potentially saved lives. The Petit family home invasion is a stark reminder of the existence of evil in our world and the capacity for human beings to commit unspeakable acts. It is a tragic event that has left a lasting impact on the community and the broader conversation surrounding the death penalty. My heart goes out to the Petit family, their loved ones, and all those affected by this senseless act of violence. Last case of today's video is the murders of Bard and Melanie Billings. The tragic story of the murders of Bard and Melanie Billings is a chilling tale of a home invasion gone horribly wrong. Bard, age 66, and Melanie, age 43, were a well-known couple in Pensacola, Florida, who had dedicated their lives to adopting and raising children with special needs. They had a total of 16 children, including adopted and stepchildren, several of whom had special needs and had passed away before the murders. On the fateful night of July 9, 2009, their home was invaded by suspects dressed in ninja garb. The couple was found shot to death, but none of their 9 children present at the time were harmed. The assailants stole a safe and other items during the break-in. The safe contained children's medication, family documents, and some jewelry. One of their special needs children, who witnessed the horrifying incident, communicated to the police through sign language that he heard a knock on the door before the assailants entered. He heard one of the men saying, "You're gonna die! 1, 2, 3." Bard Billings was shot 6 times, including twice in the back of the head, while Melanie Billings was shot 5 times, including 3 shots to her head.
The mom and dad, I lived next door and the daughter came over and said, the mother and father have been shot and they're dead. And she said they've been shot? Yes. They're in the bedroom, ma'am. They're dead.
The investigation led to the arrest of Leonard Patrick Gonzalez Jr., who was charged with first-degree murder and sentenced to death for his role in the crime. Other individuals involved in the crime were also apprehended. Despite the tragedy, the Billings legacy lives on through their children. Their adult daughter, Ashley Markham, decided to move into their Florida home and take care of her 13 younger siblings following their parents' brutal murder. This shocking crime serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the courage of those who step forward to carry on in the face of adversity. The story of Bard and Melanie Billings is not just a tale of a horrific crime, but also a testament to the enduring power of family and the human spirit. I hope that by shedding light on these harrowing tales, I've not only entertained, but also raised awareness about the importance of home security and personal safety. It's our duty as a community to come together, learn from these tragedies, and strive for a world where such horrors can be prevented. Remember to share this video with your fellow true crime enthusiasts, as together we can spread awareness and contribute to a safer world. If you have any suggestions or requests for future episodes, please leave them in the comments below. Your support and engagement inspire me to continue unearthing the untold stories that lie hidden in the shadows. Thank you for watching this installment of my true crime series. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and above all, stay safe.